So one thing about sales, especially real estate sales, is there is a high level of pressure to produce. And not just to produce, but to produce at a high level. That pressure, it never came from my clients, it never came from my office, it never came from my family, it came from me. And I started to identify my production with my self-worth. So if I was having an amazing quarter, I was a good realtor. But if I was having a dismal quarter, then I was a failure. And here's a side note, it actually put me in deep thought, is I used to say I'm a realtor. So when somebody would ask me what I did, I would say, I am a realtor. What I did for work ended up becoming who I was. And that was my distorted mindset. I was seeing my value as what my production was and what I did for work. That was the seed of my lower self-worth and my misidentification. And now I say I sell real estate, no longer identifying myself with my work. So in 2020, I hit this strange wall. It was that production came so easy. It was during COVID, and the sales were flying in, referrals were arriving, and instead of feeling joy and celebrating, I felt guilt, because with every closing, I thought to myself, I didn't work hard enough for this. So what I did was I sabotaged myself. I left the brokerage that I was with. I went and sat in an office as a solo agent, and I went back to cold calling and door knocking day and night, trying to prove my self-worth through exhaustion. I literally became a walking billboard for shame and doubt and negative self-worth, all disguised as ambition. So even when those great quarters came, I couldn't celebrate them. And I was always looking for that proof of why I didn't deserve the success. So if a lead was a paid lead instead of me hunting them down, or if a transaction went smoothly instead of head-to-head negotiations. You see, our minds will search for that evidence to validate our thoughts. I had tied my worth to my hustle and hard work. If it didn't sting, it wasn't valuable to me. And so here's one thing that I've learned since then. When your worth depends on your productivity, you will never find value, because productivity is endless. You will always be chasing that next benchmark. You'll always be saying, this year I want to do the 1 million in GCI, and then I want to do 2 million, and then 4 million, and 5 million. You see, it just never ends. You see, that cycle keeps us in fight or flight, always proving, never being. Self-worth says, I am enough. Productivity says, I am enough when? I am enough when I have $5 million in GCI. I am enough when I have 5 escrows. I am enough when I have 3 listings this month. You see, it never ends. So here's the hard truth that I finally came to. Our brains will always look for the evidence of the story we believe. So if you believe you're not enough, you'll find proof in every single missed call, every quiet month, every slow season. But when you start believing that you are enough, and you start anchoring your self-worth inside instead of outside of yourself, that new evidence will show up 100% of the time, and it'll show up in ways like client appreciation. It'll show up in ways like opportunities that used to not feel aligned, but now they do feel aligned. And moments of peace that used to feel unnatural actually start to feel like calming presence. Our worth, it's not measured in contracts, it's not measured in closings. It's in remembering who you are when nobody else is watching. When you stop proving and start being, that's when you can start to feel that alignment happening. You are not your numbers, you are not your production, you are the person behind it. The one remembering that self-worth is not something you earn, it's something you return to.